problemo. Um, I'm a little bit sick still, so bear with me. I think okay. So last we I recall, Goal had gone to deliver those friends of Talon to the boats, and that's kind of where we last saw him. Was he had head that different direction? We all were meeting up in the Raiders encampment, and for a while there, I think Tiago was like getting really antsy about going in and trying to figure out a way to like be sure that this device didn't go off. And it seemed like the rest of the party had plans of their own, especially with Aiken and some of the members on the ground within the organization. Kind of seemed like he had his own team almost of people that he had like conspired to kind of prevent this from going off successfully. Somehow Tiago got in on that, much to his pleasure, and Father T said that he would basically handle things on the ground. And I think one of the important things that happened too was just that Ileana also like I think all of us kind of came together and all got on the same page, which was like it worked out really well, I think. And we essentially had like two or three plans as fail safes just to prevent this thing from happening with Aiken and Tiago taking a ship up into one of the nearby cities. Was it in Zarda, right? We went there
Yes.
where Aiken came across a couple of his buddies who, if I'm not mistaken, were also members of the Leviathan. I'm pretty sure Tiago recognizes them as well.
Mm.
Uh, they kind of confronted him as being a Zuri, did not like him being an elf, and kind of with some of his fancier equipment and stuff, thought that he was, they have some issue with the Zuri people, and Tiago can understand that clearly. And they kind of accused him of being a Zuri multiple times, and he told them he was not a Zuri. Um, but ultimately, they made this beautiful ballista. Somebody rolled a nat 20 to make like to construct a ballista, and it was like a well-oiled, perfect machine. And as time counted down, Father T and Ileana were on the ground, making sure that this weapon would look like it was going to hit the city, but also wouldn't hit the city. So it didn't like, show our hand, but also wouldn't get anyone killed. And I remember Ileana had made the projectile much larger so that it was able to be hit by the ballista more easily. And then in her attempt to make it look like it was going to hit the city, she accidentally rolled a nat one, which caused it to be dead on course to hit the city. So that definitely didn't look good. But as this thing got closer and closer and closer, I think Aiken's sight was true, and he managed to hit it, and it was kind of like an airburst above the city. It didn't hit the city, but it was super close. And before we could fully celebrate, and it looked like the city was saved, another projectile came from, I believe, the opposite direction, and just basically hammered the city, and majorly struck it. And I don't know if you want to pick up from there, Logan.
Yeah, so basically, as you guys have your moment of exultation, of excitement, having thwarted the plan from the writers, one seed laid by this organization, whatever it may be, that's attempting to, you know, cause this sort of war among the cities. Just about that exact same moment, apparently another seed had been planted, and that one found home with the arcing of this explosion up toward it and direct collision with the city. You notice just like from looking onto it, seeing it explode, the city spinning and twisting and like barreling down, very nearly collapsing into the ocean spray below. You even saw a secondary explosion from within Tria, a chemical plant seemingly having been destroyed, either by the destruction from the initial fire or potentially even another attack on the city. It's unclear. But after that second explosion, it did seem like the city had righted itself, but not before hundreds of people had fallen from Tria into the waters below, with thousands more probably having died from the explosions on the city. And with that, I'll start with a quote. A great civilization is not conquered from within until it has destroyed itself. I'm sorry. A great civilization is not conquered from without until it has destroyed itself from within. So, I think someone said that was the end of season one. And I think that's an apt description. We're gonna have to figure out what in this civilization has been destroyed. With that, we pick up the party in disparate locations. And I'm going to start with Dan here, coming from dropping some people off at a boat and just seeing this happen overhead. Yeah, you're probably a little shaken up.
Okay. How far of a walk was I from where I split and went back to the boat? Like a day?
Like from the boat to Rider encampment?
Yeah.
Yeah, like less than a day.
Okay.
But I'm assuming now that you're like back, you've made the journey.
Yeah. So, at what point did I see this explosion? Was I like halfway back or right after I dropped him off at the boat or?
The explosion just happened, so you saw it as you're like walking into the camp.
Okay. What do I see in the camp itself? Is there anybody there?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's people hustling and bustling around. It looks like a lot of them are centered around this large projectile that seems to have been involved in the attack. You see, Ileana was the one who operated it, though. Uh, just I guess a general vibe is that people are like upset, like something went wrong, uh, and I guess Ileana, your low roll has given you a little bit more faith among the community, as it looked like your shot was dead on, but then obviously intercepted by some of your friends, unbeknownst to the rest of the riders. So there's a lot of confusion in the air. I mean, it seems like all these elves are like going back and forth, like, who is that? How did this happen? Um, though it seems like some people at least believe that it may have been some defense from within the city. So
I'm gonna find Father T.
okay.
I'm gonna walk in and kind of quickly but quietly look for Father T.
Father T, I'm assuming you're not too hard to find in all this ruckus.
No, I'm not. I'm glaring at Ileana.
I'm gonna walk up to you and then look at what you're glaring at and look back at you and say, "What is going on? Is that Tria on fire?"
Unfortunately, it is Tria on fire. Not fallen, luckily. But not safe. Either.
What just happened? There was another projectile. Look, we gotta get up to Exarta, where the rest of these guys are at. We need to figure out what our game plan is.
You said they couldn't build the device to hit the cities without you.
I thought that was true. Um, obviously, I'm a bit confused.
You also said you'd miss the
I
city.
I did well. I had to aim true and trust in our friend with the ballista, which I did, and he hit. Look, I told you that this could go wrong in a lot of ways, and it did, but we're kind of our bases are covered here. We need to smooth talk these guys and get the hell out of here and meet up with the other two as quickly as we can.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Because Father T is trying to figure out whether. Oh shit. 9.
Yeah, Ileana is definitely not an easy person to read and has not been known to be the most trustworthy, but as far as you can tell, she seems to be forthright.
Can I attempt to
Perhaps.
persuade him to my side?
Sure, roll a persuasion check.
8 to 10.
10. Yeah, I mean, you feel, somewhat persuaded by Ileana that she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you somewhat believe it. There are things that she's done that she probably wouldn't have done if she intended on blowing up a city. I mean, she wouldn't have made the projectile bigger and all of this and have these backup plans in place. So I guess you assume that she's telling the truth, but you definitely can't confirm it with the insight check.
You better not be lying to me. But yes, we need to meet up with the others and make a plan.
This also means that there is someone or something that can build a projectile, and that means that they are probably the biggest threat, and not the raiders, the riders, or actually any group here. Look, there's a lot we gotta think about and discuss, and we all need to be together to do so. And plus, I really was I gunned for that thing straight on. I tried to arc it a little bit, but it just went there. So I really got to make sure they don't get too concerned that I did try to, you know.
I think the plan was to have Aiken meet us back down here. I'm trying to remember. I know we talked about it for sure. I think it would be easier to get down here than it would be to get up to the city. So
That's for sure.
We should wait, I think. Yeah.
I mean, do you know where to find them? Do you know where we're supposed to meet?
No. No.
We should have talked about this ahead of time.
We had a small conversation.
You guys don't tell me about your conversations. This is always what happens with me. We're in the shit, and then all of a sudden you guys are like, "There's a bullseye brigade," and I'm like, "When did we discuss this before?" And now I'm panicking.
Perhaps we should go to the city and meet them there.
Just
how though? Any ideas?
if I knew how to get to the cities, I would have went there myself already. I'm actually surprised they were able to get a lift up there with such short notice and convenience.
You know who we should talk to? We should talk to that one rider that Tiago wanted to find.
You guys
Come,
don't tell me this stuff. Yeah, let's go. Let's find her.
They walk off in search of El Rey.
Wait, Father, I'm gonna try to do some damage control here. I'm gonna really lay it on thick. So
you're coming with us. Don't try to jump ship.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not abandoning you now. I'm just trying to cover our asses right now, which I think I can do pretty easily. I think we're pretty close to. I did a good job at making it realistic.
Okay, so you go off for El Rey. Goal, what are you doing?
Do they both go off?
No, Ileana's apparently staying behind, probably looking for Chief Amara and all of this chaos.
I'm gonna follow Father T, and I'm gonna say, I need you to tell me what happened. I don't understand. I see this machine, and Ileana's acting guilty. I need to know. Is this responsible for what happened?
She says she isn't. I have half a mind to trust her after yesterday. But she set off the device to hit the city, and while it looked like it was going to hit the city, perhaps it was a trick of the eyes. Either way, Aiken clearly shot it down before it hit the city. But there was a second device somewhere on the other side that took us by surprise. We were not accounting for that.
When you say the other side, what do you mean? From the
Beyond
city or
the
from
city.
below?
From below, I assume.
Yes.
From below.
Is that towards the water?
Yes.
So I might have seen that one come up.
Oh, you definitely saw it, arc through the air and hit the city for sure. Judging by the angle, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check to see if you could approximately map its distance.
10.
Okay, you don't know exactly, and you really only saw it once it was like pretty high up in the sky and already sort of descending its arc. But if you had to guess, you would say that it's very likely from the island. If you have the map in front of you, uh, there's like a large continent where you guys are in the rider camp, and then if you go east, you hit a little bit of ocean, and then there's an island right there, and you would guess that that's where it's from. Probably.
Logan, can you describe that again? Sorry.
Yeah. So if you're at the rider camp and go just straight east, that island that's
Where's
directly
the
east,
Where's the rider camp? Is it
It's like the horse-looking thing, right?
horse head, top middle of the left continent.
Just above
okay.
Tacitus.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, if you go north of Tacitus, the island I'm talking about is directly northwest of where I have Venruz marked on the map.
So I see the.
So
So this island.
Madagascar looking.
That, yep, that's where you would guess it's from.
Okay. And I was over on this edge of the water.
Yep.
So I saw something come up from the way I was heading back towards the campment, and then maybe noticed it at some point something that came right up over my head.
Exactly.
Damn, that's crazy.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if at all possible, Tiago would also like to figure out what trajectory that came from if he had an opportunity to see it. I don't know if the city
yeah,
would block him
also-
you though.
Yeah, also roll intelligence check. Yeah, the city would probably in some ways, but you're on another floating city. Yeah, I think maybe you could.
It's a 9.
Yeah, again, difficult to do. I mean, it definitely came from east of the rider camp. There's not that much east of the rider camp, so
Yeah.
you would guess it probably either from a boat or the island. But Goal has a better idea that it's probably from the island.
That second projectile, I suspect it maybe came from the island across the bay. We need to go there and get more information, but where are we going right now at the moment?
Right now, we're trying to find a way to meet up with Aiken and Tiago. We had a third plan in case the city was hit. It was proposed we go to Joracast and search for possible solutions there. But we should discuss this as a whole group.
Right, at which point I'll say that you do arrive to El Rey. She's like looking at the sky, seems to like almost be examining the area Trio was where it was hit, just staring up there, almost like an emptiness to her eyes.
You are the one they call the sniper?
She like looks a little bit like shaken and says, "Is it yes? Is it me?"
I understand you arranged some transportation for Aiken up to Injarta?
All of a sudden she like backpedals for a second and like seems like taken and then like remembers, seems like connect the dots like, okay, you're with him, probably you know what's going on, and then says, I have some passing knowledge of ways to move.
We need
Do you
to
need to
reach
go?
him.
I have friends who are going tomorrow morning. Can you wait or?
That's the soonest that there will be a transportation.
was
It is
plan?
a matter of extreme urgency. Having to
Is that
do
the
with
case?
that, and I just point towards Tria.
Yeah, it's like pretty much gone off the horizon now. You just see like smoke trailing it, like this big black billowing smoke. Of course, it is a real tragedy that it happens this way. I will try to get something together, but I cannot make any promises.
Thank you. It will be passage for 3. I appreciate it.
Of course. At which point, Ilyana, you come up to Chief Amara here, who's just like staring up at the destruction. You see her eyes like glittering. She seems excited, if not fully pleased.
Chief,
Oh, yes, great shot.
That was an interesting experiment.
Who knew we had allies?
Do we have allies? Do we know
Of
who did that?
course, there was another projectile.
D-
I don't know. Do
you don't
you?
know? No, I don't know who that was. I'm concerned as to, considering the recipe for the projectile was given to me by you guys. I figured it'd be a closely guarded secret.
Projectile? It is not something that I invented. We had it from delivered to us from the cities, of course.
Which one?
You ask so many questions, Eliana. The day is a day of celebration.
Look, I'm rather confused after what just went down. I didn't know that there were other people building these weapons. Did you see that
Nice to die.
when we fired the shot, there was I was dead on, but it
Of
was shot
course.
out of the air.
As the cities are so magical. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure. We still got a good hit.
But uh, but you're not worried about who hit them?
No, I'm excited. This is progress. The first true strike of the rebellion.
Yeah, that I suppose. I figured.
What is wrong, Ileana? I
No,
thought you would be more excited.
no, I'm very excited this thing happened. I'm just more concerned, knowing the amount of time and energy I put into such a device, that there are other people running around with such a complicated understanding of the weapons and whatnot. So,
Suppose so, but these are minor things. More the merrier.
right. The first strike of the rebellion. We're not gonna do it all
Yes.
by ourselves.
Bertrand will rise up together. This is the coming of a new age.
Right. However, again, good day for celebration, but
Somebody like pats her on the back. She like nods. Like, yeah.
right, yes. Okay, day for celebration, I understand. I'm a bit of a busybody, I'm a bit of a worrywart, so I was thinking perhaps maybe we could go and try to see what kind of defense systems that was set up, the kind that shot us our weapon out of the air to possibly prevent such a waste of resources in the future. What do you think?
Fantastic idea, but Liana, you worked so hard. Have you slept recently?
No, that's not relevant. um, I think I'm gonna go and do you have a look? I know I asked too many questions, and this may even be a silly one. Again, I'm not quite sure how this whole thing works. Do you have a method of getting up to the cities so that I could go and try to discover what this thing was?
A method, of course not. If I could get to the cities, they would all be under my grasp.
Ah, yes, of course. That's what I assumed, but I was just making sure.
But
I'm
I
going.
assume that my benefactor, he will be so excited to speak to me now.
Who is this? Who is this? Perhaps this benefactor would like to speak to me, since I, helped design such a.
It's possible I do not speak for him. He is one of the archmagers. Do not tell me his name, but he sits on the council. He's a very powerful man, orchestrating our rebellion.
Interesting. When is he coming to speak, or when is he going to speak to you?
Oh, he does not come here. He is a busy man.
We go to him, or what?
Oh, he speaks to me in my head.
Oh, right.
You know, it's magical trifles. Even some that you know can do this, I'm sure.
I'm sure I don't know anything about it. If you could pass him my name and recommendation, just sort of to discuss the logistics of the whole operation, I would greatly appreciate it. I'd love to get to know people in this whole rebellion thing.
Of course, I will tell him that you are a very promising pupil.
Thank you, Amara. I appreciate that. I'm a little bummed to see all my hard work, get shot down in an instant. So that's why I've just been a bit, unenthusiastic about this whole thing. But this is really cheering me up. I appreciate it.
True, but you have to understand that, Liana, it is not a single blow that will bring the rebellion. It is a series of attacks, one after another. The people rising up against this dictatorship that we live under. We will beg for their lives, and then we'll hang them from their very floating cities there around it.
That's a wow. That's a thought.
Isn't it?
That's
Listen,
that's
Eliana.
creative. I really like that.
Today is a win.
Yes. All right. Yes, of course. I'm just gonna go away, see if I can try to understand, the security systems they have in place. Don't worry about me. You guys keep celebrating. I'll keep to myself.
You will not miss the party tonight, though. You're the guest of honor.
Oh. No, of course I would not miss that for the world.
Come back soon, then.
Yes, of course.
And buy some booze if you find some.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll go pick some up at the store. All right, I'll see you guys later. And I'm gonna take off.
All right. Meanwhile, is Tony here? Did we lose Tony?
He texted he would be right back, and it wouldn't take too long.
What was that guy's name? He was an archmage?
He's an
archmage.
name.
He did. Yeah, she doesn't know his name.
Yeah, I just was looking for his title. Archmage?
Yeah, archmage. Yeah. I think that's what I call him, right? Yeah, archmage. Yeah, the Majocracy is like a council of archmages. And if you'll remember, there was also an archmage that gave this ability to create these eggs to the dragon, or the Scalebeards. There was some archmage also involved in that in some way, and you know that spawned some conflict also. So probably not too far of a guess to say it might be the same guy.
Mm.
Meanwhile, Tiago, on the city.
Is it possible to see? Sorry, you go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, there is panic in the streets as to what just happened. I mean, probably 100,000 people living on Anzarda all just saw probably the largest terrorist attack of the modern era kill thousands of people in a nearby city. So, yeah, people are, not handling it
well. Is it possible to? I have those thermal goggles. Is it possible to I guess that other city flew away, didn't it? It kind of hovered out of sight.
Yeah, you can still see it since you're higher up, but it's flying away for sure. It doesn't seem like they have a very good control on where it's flying. It's just stabilizing as.
I was gonna say, I'd like to see if I could see how much of this city's still on fire with my thermal goggles, and if the other island comes into view where we think it came from, if I can see a heat signature or just anything that would indicate, there's people there. You know what I mean? To pinpoint. If I get the opportunity to do that, those are the things Tiago would be interested in doing.
Okay, roll 2 separate perception checks for those.
So first one on their city be a 19 and a 10 for spotting on the island.
It is certainly still on fire. You can see that there's plumes of smoke erupting from the city still. It doesn't look like there's been any more collateral damage. It looks like they've been able to zone the fire for the most part at this point. But a huge chunk of the city is basically just left to burn. I mean, it looks like there's no recovering. There's only so much you can do to fight the fire that has erupted in this quadrant of the city or whatever. You assume that most of the efforts are probably focusing on rescuing people or getting people out of that area, but that area is toast. As far as seeing something on the ground, you do not see anything. I mean, you're pretty high up. It'd be a hard thing to see.
Yeah. True enough. Other than that, I mean, I'm with Aiken's crew, and I will defer to his. You know what I mean?
All right, Aiken. You see just pure chaos sprinting through the streets all around you as people are, panicked, as you might expect.
Of Anzarda? Excuse me.
Yeah, just running around Anzarda. I mean, people are like, oh my god, what just attacked the city,
Right. Is it more of people just like people running like pure chaos, or is it like people running to the edges to like see what happened, or a mix of both, all of
It,
it?
it's a little bit of both. It's like people praying, people running around, people like going and like speaking to their family, their friends. Just overarching pure sheer panic.
Hmm. Um. Very interesting.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
it's probably also on these people's minds that if there were to be some sort of civil war among the cities, Minzarda probably would not be on the Tacitus side, right? So that probably wouldn't go well for them, you imagine.
yeah. Aiken's gonna look to the his other compatriots and see like what they think of it. Like, what does Miegfried think of it? What does the rest of the guys think? Like, are they shocked? Are they?
I mean, yeah, they're definitely shocked. They're definitely not like panicking like everyone else, but uh, they look disheartened, as you might imagine. Stopped this horrific attack, and then there's another one that just happens instead. But yeah, I guess to some degree you can see that there is a certain pride amongst them all. They all look to be happy that they were able to at least thwart one of these attacks. I mean, probably would have been far worse had both hit, right? So, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
say there's any like. I mean, no one has any action plans. Everyone's just kind of like stunned.
yeah. I guess Aiken's at that spot too, where it's like trying to gauge the full situation of like what to do to like take the streets or you know just stay inside and chill. Um,
We're up on that tower still, right? Like where the ballista's at. I mean, we're essentially still next to that ballista, aren't we?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you just watched this happen. You have not done anything but that.
We need to either disassemble this ballista or hide it. I don't want to be involved or known to be
hmm.
involved. I'm gonna try to like push it away from the edge of the tower, just so if any onlookers look up, they're not like, "Hey, that's the thing that shot the other thing."
Are you
Try
gonna?
to cover it.
Are you? Are you saying that out loud? Like that you
Yeah, I
want to
say it
do
out
that?
loud for sure. Yeah, I say it to you guys, kind of like snapping out of the shock of
Yeah.
seeing and probably hearing this city engulfed in flames.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea, Tiago. All right, men. Let's break this shit down. Like try to pull it off, disassemble it.
They go without it, without question. Continue working, getting it
What
done as quickly as possible.
what do we know about Tria and its relationship with Enzarda, and both their relationships with Tacitus?
Well, with Tacitus, you probably can't get worse than Tria with their relationship. Um, and Zarda doesn't really like to associate, but they do under the hand deals, I suppose, under the table work. Um, yeah, as you can tell by the chaos down there, and I look over the side, if it were to come to qualms, we would not be on the Tacitus side, and that is a losing side. So not good. I like continue taking stuff down while talking. What do you
It
ask?
might be safe. It might be safe to say that if anyone witnessed that bolt fly from Enzarda, they would think they were taking Tria's side, whether we like it or not. It may seem that Enzarda has picked a side with Tria against whoever's their adversary.
But Tacitus isn't ignorant. Um, they know where the residents of Ensarda lie. Shit, there was something quite a while ago that painted that picture clear, so they handled that fast.
It's
There's a
about
lot
this
more to
time
it.
that you see Muriel, the airship captain who brought you up here, like walk in, walk up, and be like, "I just got word from your friends on the ground. It sounds like they need a pickup. You want me to bring him here?
Wasn't the plan. Things must be bad down there. Yeah, I
I
picked them up. Yes.
bring him here."
Try to get Higbane, and if Elroy will come, take her if she wants to. But she's a big kid. She knows what she needs to do.
Well, she's the one who contacted me and didn't say anything about herself, so I'm assuming she won't be coming. But
She say anything about Higbane?
no, just the three of them. She didn't sound like she was under a serious threat or anything. But anyway, I'll check it out. I'll be back soon.
Speed.
He dips out. A little bit later, the three of you on the ground start to notice something like descending from the sky, like a little bit away from the camp that you assume would be your pickup. Do you guys all head that direction?
Where is Ileana? Uh, if all three of us are together, yes, I would start heading in that direction. Otherwise, I would find the person who's not there.
I mean, yeah, Ileana, do you show up with the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all gather here and start heading over there.
So,
You see,
guys, how much of a rush are we in?
We need to go meet with the rest of our group. I don't understand the question. This might be our one ride.
We only get only the one?
I assume so. I didn't ask if there were alternate times.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Of course, we can go now. I was just just wondering.
Is there something you need from down here?
No, they just were. I mean, they were gonna have this whole. I mean, it sounds ridiculous now, but they're gonna have this whole party, and it was like for me, you know, because of everything I've done, and like so, you know, kind of obligated to show up at that point. So no,
We
that's
need to get
fine.
to the city and plan our next move.
Yeah, of course. I was. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
all right, as you head outside the city, you see this sort of small three-propellered vehicle. It seems to be a different vehicle than I don't know if you guys saw what he was driving last time, but this has like these three disparate propellers that are all sort of like rotating around him. And he looks over and he says, "Guess you're my three."
Yes. Can you take us to Aiken?
Yeah. Have you heard from Higbane, Elray? They coming or no?
I'm sorry, I do not know those people.
Yeah,
All right, get in.
I'm glad because I didn't know those guys either. Goal, are you all right? You coming? Okay, just checking in.
You all hop into this craft. It starts like wobbling upwards until finally it like catches, and it almost seems to like use the air to like get lift underneath of itself and bring itself up into the sky above the camp. You see like a bunch of the riders kind of like looking up, sort of a little bit confused as to where you might be going.
I want to who the guy who's like escorting us. I'm gonna say, hey, you what's your name? Are you a bullseye guy?
Not really. Just work for whoever will pay me.
Who are you?
Muriel's the name.
What's your Mariel?
Muriel.
Mariel.
Meriel.
All right. How long's this trip up?
Won't be long. 20 minutes.
Perfect. And then I will ritual cast Identify on the way up there, so that I want to figure out how this flying machine works. I'm gonna try to discern its magical properties, things like that.
All right. Yeah, sitting there, you cast Identify, and I'll imagine for you it's like a matter of kind of like investigating it as you're flying up, like trying to keep your balance as you're like looking at the intricacies of all the different knobs and whistles.
I'm gonna go up to like by the driver's seat, and I'm gonna start like unscrewing a panel, and I'll like pull it open. I'm like, oh.
What are you doing?
No, don't worry. Oh, okay, it's starting to make sense.
It seems to be operated by a burning furnace at its base that heats you initially thought might be water, but now you think it might be some other form of liquid. And as it heats it, it just gases off and basically catches in the propellers, and the propellers are angled in such a way that it spins them. Pretty simple, like steam-based system. You think you could build something similar if you really wanted to.
Sweet. That's all I need.
And all right, at which point you are landed among the streets of Inzarda, pretty close to the safe house that he leads you to. At which point you see the rest of your party all like having finished disassembling this ballista. What are you guys all doing?
Is everyone okay?
We're fine up here. I thought we were gonna meet in a neighboring city.
We immediately forgot the plan. We were down
We
there.
forgot the plan.
We were panicking. It
I
was
see.
mostly father was panicking, and I said we gotta reunite. And also, Aiken, I know this isn't quite the time for celebration. One hell of a shot. Oh, if you would not have hit that, that would have been very bad. I was really, really betting on you, and you came through. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It was quite the hard angle to hit. It
Yeah, sorry, I
wouldn't
was
have been possible.
trying to make it easier, and I think I made it even harder on accident. So again, very, very impressed with your work.
Thank you. Um, how are the streets looking? Like, are they still like chaos has been going on for this past hour now?
I mean, things are definitely calming down. It doesn't seem like there's any like panic in the streets in the essence of like people sprinting around anymore. But there's definitely like a general air of like, holy shit, like what just happened. You have seen like a few vehicles like flying off in Zarda to get to Tria to like try and assist them with things.
Yeah.
And I'll say that it's about this time, as you guys are all sort of gathered here, that you hear over a series of loudspeakers, magical loudspeakers set up through the city of Inzarda. By royal decree of the Majocracy, a new law is placed today. No one may traverse to or have any contact with Tria. They are hereby removed from the Majocracy and are no longer to be recognized as a member of this Flying City Union.
Fuck.
Wait. I'm not up to date on my city politics. What is that? Why was Tria sent out of the Majocracy?
Uh, Father T probably knows better than me, but Taskers doesn't really like him that much.
It's
And,
become clear this entire endeavor has been a proxy war being fought on the surface with the intention of alienating Tria, make them easier to pick off.
I
it's true.
but after they just got hit with a weapon, why would they kick them out then?
You see one of the other men standing around who I suppose you wouldn't know his name, but those who you do know it's Perseverance says, well, harder to fight back now.
Oh, right. Um, Gentlemen, this is my gang of friends, lifelong friends. We call ourselves the Court of the Leviathan. Really never thought you'd meet these guys, but
Wait,
here we are.
who are the Bullseye Boys then?
Bunch of bozos.
What? I thought, God,
Ask your Zur.
I don't know what that means either. God damn it. This is a very confusing first couple of minutes up here in the city. I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna walk over to Goal. Do I know that Goal is from Tria? Have we discussed that?
Probably would. I mean, you spent like a couple weeks, just living with him, so.
I'm just gonna get like kind of close to him.
I'm hanging in the background, observing, looking somewhat confused, but I also look like I'm stewing.
Based on what I know from you, doesn't seem like Tria is. Perhaps you didn't leave on the best of terms, but I know it is still your home. Are you all right?
No, I am not.
Watching it from up here,
I didn't leave on bad terms. I just left. I certainly wish no ill will of at least my friends on Tria. I worry about them right now. I am conflicted with whether to go to Tria to help or find out where that second projectile came from. I have no
my
idea.
thoughts as well.
Can I hear this conversation?
I assumed it was intended to be private, but you
I
can.
mean, I was trying to be like sympathetic to him, but I don't think I was being secretive. So
Oh,
it was,
in that
you know,
case, yes, you
yeah.
can.
I'm not. I'm not speaking loudly. So I don't. I mean, if Father T is close, I don't mind him hearing, but I wouldn't speak
Right.
loud enough for anybody else.
Yeah.
I'll say that you hear them.
There's a third option. We could.
Well, Father T, you're really the one around here I trust, despite the air of mystery surrounding you. What do you have to offer?
We could try and stop this from happening in the first place. Again, with the knowledge that we know now.
I don't think I follow.
There's a book in the city of Jorakash that has instructions, not instructions, observations surrounding an event that happened a couple thousand years ago known as the Breach. I think if we could get our hands on that book again, with Ileana and myself working on it, we could try to create some sort of device that would allow us to go backwards in time and attempt to stop this city from getting hit. But by far, that is the most dangerous of the three options before us.
Perhaps that should be plan C, especially if we have the ability to change time.
Don't mistake me. I'm not saying we do have the ability to change time. I'm saying, theoretically, it is something I have worked on for a long time. And I just sort of, like, glance at my staff.
I see. Well, let's not start with the most dangerous thing first.
It's a
I don't-
shame.
What?
Well, in my experience, I think striking back as quickly as possible can be your best action. If we wait too long, the trail is going to go cold. If we go down where that projectile was launched from, perhaps we could find people who fired the weapon and who they worked for, see who's pulling the strings, and maybe get an opportunity at the men really responsible for today. Whatever we do, we can't stay in this city. If Nzarda's made laws against helping Tria, and they know that the ballista fired from here, it won't be long before they track down where it fired from. And if Nzarda holds us responsible for preventing another projectile from hitting the city, then they won't be too kindly with us.
I think I agree with everything you just said. I think I would be of little help in Sharia. Perhaps figuring out who did this is the first step. Where's the person
Go
that
ahead,
gave
Dan.
it up?
What'd you say, Dan?
Where's the person that gave us the ride up? And he's a friend of Aiken's?
Yeah, he's a friend of, he's worked with him, sort of.
He's like
Or
our taxi
might be a
driver.
stretch. he's like a
Okay.
taxi driver, yeah.
Yeah, he's like our Uber.
But yeah, he's around. I mean, he hasn't left.
Aiken.
Gold.
I think we should go back down to the surface and find where the third projectile came from.
You don't think they would have torn down their camp by now? Like we tore our ballista down?
Even if they had, they would have left tracks or a trail or something, some type of evidence.
Well, if I'm right, they're on an island offshore.
And a weapon of that size would be difficult to conceal. Should be easy to find some sort of evidence, something.
The only thing is,
He needs to get there quickly, it seems, if your friend is willing.
oh, he's willing for a price. I look at him jokingly, but the only problem with the plan is, this is kind of a sore subject for all of us, is finding that second bomb. That second bomb group, I suppose, is pretty much a cry for war against Tacitus. These aren't freedom fighters on the surface that, blow cities up for fun. As Father T said, it's very clearly a proxy war. If that's something that we have to get into, it's going to get messy.
Well,
Especially since we're fighting against the winning side.
All of the sides will be losers in this war.
Right.
that doesn't concern me. I'm either curious to go after whoever attacked my city or go help my city.
You see like a few of the other guys around, like their ears perk up when you say "my city."
So I've only heard like a portion of this conversation once it started getting, extended to the rest of you. So excuse me if I'm a bit lost. Um, so here's the thing. I've already forgot what I was gonna say. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. Oh, will somebody? So I'm not from here. When we decide on a place to go, will one of you give me a quick political lesson? I think I'm a bit confused on who the sides are here.
Your whole life has been a political lesson. You just don't know it yet.
That's true.
Doesn't help. That's not what I want to know. I was looking for more literal approaches to the political lesson.
What's your question?
I don't know who the sides are and which side we're on.
I think those sides are being drawn now. It seems Inzarda is not siding with Tria, and Tria is clearly an enemy of the Magocracy. What side we're on is perhaps the side of the innocent. The goal is from Tria and doesn't want to see the people there killed. Nor do I. The side of no war is what it seems. Aiken makes a good point that perhaps attacking the terrorists that blew up Tria would start more conflict, but if we do it in such a way that they don't know who struck, could just be vengeance.
Or perhaps we can frame it in a way to null the situation out. Again, I'm not quite familiar with the sides, but maybe we could find some combination of attacks to anyways, point is, I think, and Gold, I genuinely, and I'm not, I have an issue sometimes with being a bit too sarcastic, in times. I'm genuinely here, in reverence to you. I think going to Tria now is just a bit unnecessary. We can't help much. Even with medical skills or magic, there's only so much that a group of 5 can do in a city that's been torn. Plus the explosions there that probably are now riddling the city with dangerous energy. My point being is, I think the best option is if we go settle this with the people who caused it in the first place.
I look at Ileana and I say, kind of step up to her a little bit. Woman, for once we are in complete agreement.
You scared me there. You were. And
I,
actually, you weren't there for it, but me and Aiken were talking at the camp about Taylum, and I think we sort of cleared up that whole situation too. So, just in case you didn't know, like we're making progress.
Maybe we can talk about that on the way to killing some terrorists.
Fuck yeah!
I worriedly look to the court. My guys. I say, we need to have another meeting within today. Mariel, can you find Higbane and get him up here somehow? It's quite urgent.
What are they called? What are the Leviathan?
The Court of the Leviathan.
Court of the Leviathan.
There's only like 5 of them, right?
Yep.
And we just met like most, if not all of them, didn't we? I don't know.
At
Tiago
this point,
knows these things.
you would have know all of them now, because Higbane, you ran into him at the camp, and then he's like the only stray member currently. Or I guess it's not stray. Stray's a bad word, but he's the only member missing right now.
Aiken.
You think you'll come up here without Elray?
I think he needs to get all the intel that he's gathered in the past months, and we need to put it together to form a plan of action. Please tell me you guys have been operating.
All right. Yeah, goes, and apparently he's going to go try and get Higbane for you.
Thank you.
I'm going to get paid for all this, right?
Of course. When have we never paid you?
Just keeps walking.
And I look to the rest of not the other dudes, not the party. If you guys need to draw up any, anything you've come up with, we need to put it all together right now. See if we can avoid, needless confrontation with a bunch of amateurs on the surface.
Listen, I'm all about standing up for what we believe in and everything, Aiken, but I'm not sure I was really meant for going and killing terrorists or anything that's going on right here.
I get that. You don't have to come to a surface operation for killing terrorists. We just need to combine our heads like we do once every great while, reassess what our plan of action is. With the court, that's what we do.
And what exactly was the plan of action that got us to be the court in the first place? I feel like we're too deep in this, man. We need to take a step back.
Okay. Which guy is this?
This is what's his name? McFerrin.
Oh, I like McFerrin so much. They're all my close friends.
Yeah.
McFerrin, what are you talking about? We face death in pursuit of this, so it's not a kids' club. I mean, granted, we're not going to go fight Tacitus and throw our lives away that ignorantly, but if you're that scared, the Munitions Guild is blocks away.
Yeah, all right, dude. Whatever. He starts walking away, and he's like, "The rest of your friends know how we became a group? They know that story?"
Do they need to?
Tiago looks super interested to know. He's like very much listening.
Listen, Aiken. Some things better left untouched. I thought you'd know that.
And I would agree. But we have to do something like we've always done.
All right. We'll see when Higbane gets here. What are the rest of you guys doing in the meantime?
I'm gonna find a secluded spot, and if it's not just like right out in the open, and sit down and meditate, kind of pray, think about what's going on, try to center myself because I'm pretty upset without showing it so much.
I'm gonna, if Ileana is willing, I will start to explain the politics of the cities to her.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I guess most of it boils down to the coloration of them on the map. So I would say that now you have a vague understanding of where each of the city lies now.
Um, I also want to, as he's talking to me, I'm gonna be holding up my energy rifle. It's fully off, like none of the bits are glowing, and I'm just using the scope to like try to look to where Goal mentioned the other group was and see if I could spot him from here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. That is going to be a 5.
Okay, 5. Looking down, you cannot see it because there is a large ship blocking your path. Something descending toward this location.
Shit.
Wait, that's not that's not good either. Father, what the hell is that? What's that ship?
How big is it?
Hard to say from here. Probably big enough to hold 10 men, 15 men.
Yeah.
We need to fucking go. How close is it to the ground already?
From here, it looks like, I don't know, maybe half a mile from, if that is their destination, have it a half mile from there.
Son of a
But they're
bitch,
moving pretty
gonna,
quick.
yeah. Hmm. There might not be anything left when we get there. Do we have our ride with us, or did he go to get Higbane?
He just left.
Is it quick enough? Do you know? I know we took about 20 minutes to get up here. Will it take about 20 minutes to get down? Cause, and it may not be preferable, but I got a second option when it comes to getting to the surface real quick.
What is it?
If you all
Can it get us
remember
there?
from our days in the from Menzo Baranzan. Wait, oh
Oh,
shit. I keep forgetting, Tiago, you weren't there. We'll explain it
yeah.
later. Father, you know what I'm talking
Right.
about?
Let's see if he comes back with the airship. I
Let's hope.
sort of hold myself closer.
I mean, just doing the math on it, you assume he won't be back in time. I mean, if you want to beat the ship there, there's certainly only one option.
But if we can assume, do you think the ship's large enough to put the weapon on it that they probably use to fire the? You know what I mean?
Uh, I mean, probably. It's a big ship.
Are we
It
landing on
might
the
take them
ship,
a
or are
little
we
bit of
landing on
time.
the ground? I say we intercept the ship. I think that'll be easier target to land on too. Plus, then if we miss landing on the ship, then we can just try to transition it into the ground.
You see,
It's a
it's like
lot
a
harder to
large,
make in this
like
game.
classical airship as like a large, sort of blimp-like balloon hanging off the top of it, and then there are these two like wing rudders basically on either side of what it almost looks like a sailing ship.
Does it have any like thing we can identify on it, like
It
any type of
seems to,
organization or?
it seems to be intentionally left blank, like it's like
Mhm.
just black.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I'm gonna start twisting like what looks like amp knobs on my arm, and like you can hear that like residual feedback that's like the more I crank it up, and I like open my hand, and you can you can see like the heat waves coming off of it, and I'm like, go get goal if you go get goal and Aiken. I'm ready.
Why do I not
What
know
exactly?
what that is?
I thought we like hammocked down or like parachuted in, didn't we? Or
Yeah.
Tiago
You
or
feather falled
Taylor
into
did.
the
We
city.
parachute featherfalled into Menzo Paranza and on top of the
Are
spider
we
statue.
are we over it enough, or is it like far away that we would have to go like travel, horizontally before we just drop down into it? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's definitely not directly below you, but it's not so far that you don't think you could like fall there. You're pretty high up in the air, you know.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
definitely think you have enough movement to be able to get there.
We have 600 feet of movement for up to a minute. Yeah, 60 feet a turn.
How many people can you do that for?
5.
I say we go. I say we do it. At the
Someone
very
go
least, we
interrupt
see.
Goal's meditation.
Oh, I heard the device and I got up.
Yeah.
When
At the
Scott
very
says
least,
we should go, I say, let's go. Now.
at the very least, we see who's behind this.
Of course. Let's try to talk to him first.
Perhaps we should check with Aiken first. He did seem to have a plan.
Oops. Sorry, Aiken.
Aiken, are
Aiken's
you?
like,
You're in the room with us, right? Yeah.
no, he's like trying to scrounge up files and like documents and putting them at like this massive meeting table where the other guys are also doing similar tasks.
Let your friends push the papers. Now it's time for vengeance and knowledge. We could use you on this one.
What are you talking about?
We're going to the surface now.
And now, why? What's the rush? I don't understand.
There's another ship landing on that island. They're probably going to take the weapon and any evidence of who was behind the attack. We need to beat them there, or at least see who's behind it. Track them, something.
I can tell you who's behind it. It's just a bunch of amateurs the Tacitus hired. I don't really know what killing them would serve. It's also probably a massive group of people that we'd be charging straight into who have, I assume, similar weapons to riders, upgraded using magic. We don't know enough. We don't have time to pre-op this. I don't like this plan at all. And it is noble, but that's not something I can do.
How much time do you need?
Well, I need Higbane to get back here as fast as he can, and however long Mariel can get him here as fast as he can is what determines that. We can't. Although I would love to go and seek vengeance on people that blew up Tria, you could accomplish the same thing with killing the riders as well. And even then, that ship is probably linked to Tacitus.
How do you know it's Tacitus? I mean, I guess obviously it's Tacitus.
Because
but
they tried to blow up
who?
Tria before, and we pretty much not prevented it, but got in the way.
When was this? Sorry, not
No,
to
you're
interrupt.
good. You're good.
I had not heard of this event.
Did the other guys stop moving at all, or?
Nope.
Well, it's kind of a long story, and I assume no one here has time to hear it.
And then perhaps we can talk at length later about it.
It is pretty messy. But
What if we go down there and we scout it out? We don't have to engage them. You're probably right. They may outnumber us. But at least we could see with our own eyes what the weapon looks like, who potentially is behind it. Maybe someone who is involved, higher ranking than just grunts, will be there to see the weapon himself or herself.
now that is a much better plan.
Then we'll go in
Yeah.
just to recon it and see what we see. And if it comes to violence, then it does, but that won't be our first objective. We need to try to gain information rather than just go kill everyone who's involved. And maybe we could follow them back to where they're going. You know what I mean? If they go back to an organization or an individual who is responsible, they may lead us straight there.
Now that's a much better plan. Much more guile of our use of time. Yeah, we can
I'm gonna.
probably take notes, map out the machine, what it looks like if it's similar functioning to the one that Ileana made. I'm sure she's dying to see what it looks like. Then yes, then that's something we can do. Do you need all of us to use this machine, Ileana? Or is it we can all go at different times? Because I'm sure if they saw all of us trooping down, it'd be
Yeah,
something.
that's the downside, I would say. We all have to be at least within 60 feet of me.
Mm. Is it daylight outside?
Um,
I,
I'm trying to
however, and I
I'm
don't
trying
want
to
to
remember.
toot my own horn, but I am a pretty stealthy. I've been working on this other technology when I got bored building that bomb launcher, which, because I really just get bored often, you know? I can't commit to one thing for too long. Check this out. And I'm going to pull down my sleeve, and I got, like, the glove that's about to cast the spell is also connecting down to, like, this wrist panel. And I'm just going to give it the old bloop, 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 bloop. And I will throw my hood up, and I'll just... And I'll turn partially invisible, like the Predator. Like, you can still see, like, the little waves, but I'm
Nope. That is impressive.
boop,
What's
boop,
our
boop, boop,
plan
boop.
then, people? What are we doing?
You guys should go down. I need to wait for Higbane. I can just throw Mariel some more coins and he can take me down. If you guys can map out what your spot is going to be. Here, let's take this to the roof so we can get a better view.
I was going to say, since you have a bit of a good eye and some range, you could, if possible, I don't know how long the ship will stay
Ooh,
there. It seems to be moving pretty fast, but if you could keep an eye in the sky on the way
air
down, that would
support.
be, yeah. You seem to be pretty good at that, so.
I'd like to think.
Do you
And
actually have to pay your friend for that, for travel, or were you just joking about that?
he's
Because we
not
could
a part of the
toss,
court.
I could toss you some coin if you need, you know, if you need, if you don't want to stick around and I can't take you down my way.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I thought I'd offer.
He's an old compatriot, I suppose. To a degree, I mean, but we must take care of matters of our own.
Goal, where did you think the projectile came from? If you were to look at the island, which spot on the island did it seem like the projectile came from? Or can we see where the ship is heading as well?
I mean, from where you are right now, it's really difficult to see which part of the island it's going to. I mean, it's just definitely going toward the island at this point. Yeah, I wouldn't say that you have a very good grasp on that, at least from here. I mean, there's also a good chance that while you're, descending, you might be able to see something you feel like would be a better way to scout out the area probably than from here.
Maybe we should have Aiken's Uber driver pick us up on the southern tip of the island at some point, a rendezvous point to pick us up for extraction. Other than that, I have no plans other than going in quietly and seeing what we find.
Yeah, and I'll keep my cloaking on in case, and I'll hang back a little bit just to make sure. Logan, just so you know, the device is a cloak of elven kind that I got with my artificer infusions. So I'm
Nice.
not just pulling that out of my ass. That's a thing.
I figured it was something. Nice.
Aiken, would you like someone to stay with you? It can be dangerous to be alone.
No, it's fine. I've been on the surface myself plenty of times. Plus, you're probably going to hear a lot of yelling from all five of us here in a minute once Higbane gets here.
All right.
Steven, where are you?
Just in my bedroom or my D&D room.
You are?
But I never turned my background thing off. I forget how to do that. I've got that little background thing on there. Let's see. Here we go.
It's like a digital background.
Yeah. Yeah, we all had the fireplace on last session.
It was all fireplaces.
It was pretty
for
funny.
Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, it's not an option anymore. I shouldn't have changed it. It's
Oh,
gone
no.
now.
We lost our
Damn, I should have left it
fireplace.
as the fireplace.
That's a
Shit.
Discord option.
Yeah. Next
Oh.
to the camera icon at the bottom, there's a little drop down arrow, and then there's a change video background. Man, I should have left it as the campfire. Son of a bitch.
Go back in time.
Always next year, I guess.
Maybe not.
Right. So, are the four of you jumping off a building or off a city, floating in the air?
Seems like an awesome idea. We just got here, but I mean,
Yeah, you've seen like none of Inzarda. Immediately dip right out.
That was a pretty cool
You've seen a
street.
lot of Inzarda. Yeah, you landed right in the middle.
that was a sweet
Fucking
safe house.
scampered up.
Yeah.
It is pretty sweet safe house.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till everybody. And I'm gonna say like everybody like sort of form like a chain, like just everybody just kind of grab a hold of each other, make sure nobody gets loose, and when it kicks in, you can sort of float on your own. But until then, stay close.
I rub my temple and start muttering a prayer as Father T is extremely afraid of heights.
Oh God!
You all right there, buddy?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I
don't
can't
see why
believe
we
it.
couldn't have waited for the airship. But
You weren't
it's
there
fine.
with us in Menzo Berenza, and you didn't jump down. You were doing the slave kobold thing, remember?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah, there
my.
was a reason for that.
No, dude, this is fantastic. I'm sure you'll love it. You love that you're from the cities, right? You're
Not the edges.
you're
The
so
edges are very dangerous.
you're floating all the time. Well, I have you. You're in safe hands, Father. Do you trust me? And I extend my hand outward. Do you trust me?
No, and I grab his hand. Her hand.
And I'm gonna like kind of like keep one arm around his like torso, kind of like I'm like a baby Bjorn, I gotta secure him to the front just to make sure he's nice and safe. And then I'm gonna throw the hood up on my Cloak of Elvenkind, beep boop 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 boop, and I'm gonna go all Predator invisibility mode, and then get ready to jump.
Okay. The other ones of you ready to jump?
I'm gonna look at Father T and say, just try to relax, and I'm gonna give him advantage on if there's any rolls on the way down by I guess essentially casting guidance with my what is that? Hold on. I have a thing.
I believe it is the help action.
Yes, help. Exactly. That's it. Thank you.
I was like, you haven't cast guidance yet, so I'd be a little
No,
surprised if you
no.
started pulling
Yeah,
magic
it's
out.
help.
But
Yeah, no. It's help. Yeah. I'm gonna help Father T with my words. Just try to relax. And I'm gonna jump whenever we're ready.
All right. All right. The four of you are all jumping. Do you cast Featherfall immediately, or do you wait until you're lower down?
it's gonna go hop, and then we're gonna kind of like straight down. We're zooming, we're getting the distance, and then
high altitude, low opening.
and then when it comes time to sort of like start changing our direction, shifting forward, then I'll just and I'll blow out this huge air pocket below us, and it'll like keep us afloat.
Nice. All right. So you guys jump off a fucking city. And as you do, the air is just like whipping by you. You have this moment of like shaking as you start descending, till eventually you just kind of like get into the groove of it, and boom, you're hit with this like whiplash almost of the air current slowing you down with help with Ileana. Are you going to try and just go by the airship? Are you trying to land on the airship, see the airship, anything?
So my intention, because I am partially invisible, I was gonna try to land on the ship.
Okay.
However, everyone else is open to their own.
We have to stay close. We have to stay close to you though, so it's kind of up to you, Garrett.
Well, as
Right.
long as you're within 60 feet of me when I land. So like if you guys landed on like the balloon part of the blimp part on top, instead of like the ship itself.
Yeah, honestly, like maybe that would be. I don't know. Either
Gold does not seem to appreciate.
I just don't want to be
landing.
spotted. I don't want them to be like, "Oh, there's a guy like killed him."
Well, I mean, typically those are round, and if we landed on top, we would probably just squeak.
Yeah. I figured, what's the island look like? Is it just like rocky terrain, basically?
Yeah, I mean, very, very similar to the area around the riders. It's cold, rocky. You see like a little bit of snowfall, especially in some of the craters that have been formed by things
Okay.
being apparently passed to an organization on the ground.
I am
I'll say
very
we.
focused on doing whatever. It doesn't matter how many balls it takes. I'm in. So if we're going straight onto that ship, that's a good plan for me.
Yeah.
Because then we can
I'm
control,
just gonna.
take out whoever's on it if we need to. Probably less people on that than there is down on the ground.
We did tell Aiken we were just going to do reconnaissance. However, I feel like if we land on the ship, there's a good chance we may end up in a fight.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't
I'm
mind.
just following your lead, Ileana, because we're falling through the sky, and the sound of the wind is probably so loud that like
Yeah, you're definitely not having this conversation.
just like-
Let's be clear.
I'm going to
I'm just,
turn
like, doing
everyone.
hand signals. Like,
All right. Well, anyway, Ileana fucking lands on the ship. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I land on the ship as
I
well.
was holding on to Ileana for dear life.
Okay, so you're on the ship. Gold.
I'm on the ship. I'm just going to step foot on the ship like I flew over there myself, and I'm going to start moving forward to see if there's anybody there. If there's something to hide behind and be stealthy, I will, but I'm going to quickly move into some kind of a fortifying position.
There's a large central mast on the ship, and there's also like a captain's quarters in the back that is closed. You don't see inside of it. The only person that you see on the ship is a extremely pissed off looking man. He stands pretty tall, looks to be elven, but you can you're only looking at the back of him, and you see fireballs in both of his hands, and he's just muttering to himself, looking down at the ground below.
You said there was a mast on the ship as well?
Yeah, there's like a large central mast that holds the balloon.
Oh, okay.
Do I
Can I-
recognize this person?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Could I land like up on the sails? Can I reasonably like sit or crouch up there?
Like on like the rudders on the sides, or
Sorry, mast, like that's like the sail part. I assume there's not sails. I didn't think about that until now.
no, there's just the
Big stick
thing holding the
Um,
balloon. Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I
yeah.
want to
You're
sort of
talking about
be
things I behind. So.
on the back of the boat.
Okay.
And I just want to sort of have like my back into a figurative corner and like a view of the whole ship from like an angle.
Yep.
And I want to, if the captain quarters is up a bit, okay, if I could be on top of that, that'd be great.
Okay. What was that perception check?
18.
18. Definitely an elf. Looks like he's probably nobility, and he apparently is a magic user, so you'd not be surprised if he's higher nobility. Anybody else want to know? Check if they know the elf?
Can we all see him?
Yeah, I mean, you can all see him.
Yeah,
He's standing
definitely.
At the bow of the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. I also want to like hide as well within eyeshot of goal. Do you know what I mean?
Roll
So that we
perception.
can.
Yeah, roll perception checks. Everybody else.
I'm gonna mutter under my breath, the only good elf is a dead elf. I'm gonna raise my sniper up and keep it on him just in case.
12,
dirty-
and as
dirty
he says
20.
that, I just go, what the fuck, and move his rifle down.
Oh shit, I forgot you were here.
Also, Tiago, also an elf.
I got a dirty 20 on that.
Okay, you know who this is. This is a man named Adamar.
Oh. Oh.
I'm gonna stop and kind of perplexed, and I'm gonna look back at Tiago with this like questioning, confused look because it would seem that this person wants to attack whoever's on the island too.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no doubt in your mind.
I'm just gonna like shake my head to Goal and just go. And I'm just gonna watch and see what happens. I feel like I've dreamt this or something. Has something like this happened before in another session?
I don't think so.
We saw
This is
through his
weird.
eyes one
I'm having like
time.
hardcore deja vu right now.
Hmm,
It's really weird.
interesting.
Just the name Adamar triggered a core
Probably that's probably
memory.
exactly what.
I had to flip through my notes to get there.
Yeah, that Adamar.
Adamar Zuri. I think. I have
Depends
bad
who you
handwriting.
ask.
Are there any other people on the ship?
You don't see anyone else.
Okay. And we're just descending towards the island.
Yes, very deliberately.
What do you think, Father? You should go talk to him.
Why should I talk to him? He looks dangerous.
Exactly. I don't want him to go, you know, hurling fireballs.
I agree, which is why I think we should just sit here in silence.
I'm gonna walk out. I think I'm gonna go talk to him. I think
Oh,
I'm just gonna
fuck.
do it.
I'm gonna get the
Okay.
gun on him this time. Not.
He immediately turns around and says, "Yes, you're more of Callie's agents. Well, I'll burn you too. I'll burn you all."
I'm just gonna like slowly walk towards him. I don't remember you being so uptight. Is
Were
that
you?
really you?
Yes. I'm gonna reclaim my throne. It's the last thing I do. And I'm going to melt those who dared attack Tria, who dared start a war within Zarta. The Majocracy will fall. They will all burn.
You're not like I remember at all.
How do you know
Not so.
me?
I'm gonna like step a little closer. I'm not your enemy. I will tell you that.
He like looks at you like a hint of recognition in his eyes. Then you can help me bring the end to these evils. Callie tricked me. She played with my mind. She still talks to me sometimes. He like looks around, looks extremely paranoid.
Holy shit. How long has it been? How long has it been, Logan? You think?
It's a great question.
30 years or something?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So I suppose I'm glad to know it wasn't you that was involved in hurting those people on Tria.
It's
That's good at
me.
least.
It was my fault. Fools. They take me as their errand boy, leading me one way in that, thinking that the fates will lead me to my crown. No, I will take it!
So you've been manipulated. By who?
You know the witch.
Callie.
Her
The one
and
that
her.
wears the mask?
Yes. Her and her finagling on the fates, telling me that I will get my crown. Well, I'll show her. I'll show them all.
Do you know what's on the surface? Do you know what you're heading towards?
What exactly? A place that will burn. A place that will die.
I don't even know what to say. I suppose I could say that, but I'm shocked to see you like this. I suppose vengeance
T,
didn't.
you thought I was dead, didn't you? Where have you been? Where's anyone been? No. It's too much. Seems like me calming down a little bit. I've been in Jolcast. Do you know my plight? I was one of their architects, one of their leaders, taking my steps one by one as I was instructed to do by that vile witch.
What happened to you?
Don't know.
Apparently, I spent far too long away. Something I am regretting now.
He just stares blankly at you. I have no family. No one. No one but Callie. Not even her.
You may seek vengeance on these people, and I don't think
I
you're
was
wrong.
supposed to be emperor.
I guess I'm just like shocked. Tiago just like is kind of speechless. Um, you were kind of the last person I would have expected to speak in such a way. You were not like the others.
What do you mean I wasn't like the others? The cursed family. Evil. All the way through. I thought you'd escaped it. But now what? You're here to kill me? To stop me? To yank my crown from my hands? You will not.
That's not why I'm here. I was here to see who did this atrocity on
And
Tria.
who sent you? You
Myself.
think that you send yourself? Ha! You're more of a fool than I was. Callie is pulling at your strings. The magocracy twists you and turns you every which way.
And you would see it undone?
Oh, I'll see it undone. I'll see it all undone. Blast me, one city falls for them. I'll make them all fall if I must. Burn them all to ash. I will be the ruler of the ashes, the ruler of whatever's left.
Well, I won't stop you from killing those responsible for hurting innocent people on Tria. But I should hope that there's still some sanity left in you, and that power hasn't entirely corrupted you, or the desire for power.
Brother, it is not power that corrupts me. It is the lack thereof. Here I thought I was climbing the ladder, doing what I was supposed to do. Burn that bitch.
It's all a game. I learned that a long time ago. Why do you think I left? It's all a fucking game.
This game just cost the lives of thousands. And for what?
I see no justice in it.
Oh, I'll
Who
see
would-
justice. I'll see it now. He like turns back and just looks at the island.
Yeah, I'll just step away from him, honestly.
All right, anybody else do anything?
Um, Did he mention? Did either of them mention his name during this at all? Sorry, I was trying to pay attention.
I don't think so.
No, I didn't say
Okay.
it out loud or anything.
And I didn't recognize him from the perception roll, so then I would just be watching.
I guess when he turns around, though, I'm sure you recognize him. Like, if you know who he is, which I guess you would.
He had that vision of him.
He's
or
an
something,
ironclad
didn't
architect, so
he? Yeah.
safe bet that you know who he is.
I do know who he is, and I don't know much about him though, so I will just stay hidden.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper, "Hey, who is that guy? Why do they know each other?"
I don't know why they know each other. It concerns me that they know each other.
Who is it?
His name is.
I'm gonna go like
Uh,
kneel next to, just away from Adam Marcus. Adam Marcus. Uh, just with my
Adamar
hand on my sword. Kind of like,
Biminor.
I think.
He's
Didn't you
great.
say that the Adamars are all cannibals? Or they used to be? Didn't you say that?
That was a misremembering. That was a misremembering. There was a bit about a cannibal in there. That had to do with something else. No, he's a
These city
powerful
people confuse
politician.
me.
He's a powerful politician in the city that I come from, and likely knows my family very well. So it concerns me that
Well, all his ravings
Tiago's
made me think of something with Callie, you know? About, she said that if Tria were to fall, then the biggest war ever will, start and kill us all. Will it? Will it still happen, even though Tria just got hit? In case we didn't bring it down, like I think maybe we still have time to correct it.
I don't know, but it's not something I want to test out.
Well, then what do we do with this guy? Do we let him go try and kill some folks with us?
Tiago
Yep.
knows him better than me, it seems. I only knew of him in passing through my family, never personally.
Well, if Tiago is familiar with him, that's a bit concerning. But
It's very concerning.
very concerning. Thank you. Okay, I didn't want to seem mean, but if he is presumably on our side, but he also doesn't seem to be wanting to prevent the war. He said like he'd rule over the ashes, so that's not good.
He's a politician from the cities. They'll all burn the whole world down just to stay in power.
Yeah, no, I get that. That makes sense. All right, I'll keep my crosshairs on him just in case.
It's about this time that you guys are making out what looks to be
We're
a
making
small
out.
settlement here on the ground below. There's a few like interlocking lean-tos and things surrounding a central apparatus that looks like it was probably what fired a very similar projectile to the one that you were given in the Rider encampment. This one looks to be different in like how it actually functions. It's like just this long tube that basically there's a feed in with steam that builds up pressure and then just skyrockets whatever you're trying to shoot out of it, like a very rudimentary gun, basically. When you get within eyesight, you see Adamar just throw his hands up in the air, and these glowing orbs appear above him. He waits for a second, and then you see the first one start flying down, picking up steam as it grows into what you can only describe as a meteor that collides, exploding, destroying the entirety of the encampment. And then another one as he just carpet bombs this island with meteors, destroying everything.
I just
Total blast.
watch what's going on, and I just kind of cross my arms and smile.
Finally. Well, at least that's taken care of. Now I'll find that witch. Brother! Where did you come from?
In Zarda.
Back home.
I wasn't there long.
Well, they'll be the next to burn if they get their way. He seems to like cool off quite a bit after throwing a 9th level spell at this ground.
Does it look like this weapon that they just obliterated, that he just obliterated, it is like less technologically advanced than...
Yeah, it's
I don't
way
care.
more, you know, it's a, I wouldn't say maybe less technologically advanced, but it's certainly a more rudimentary way to get it done. You know, it's not the most sophisticated way to launch a projectile, that's for sure.
Were we able to see, did he just destroy that weapon, or was there anybody there?
Oh, there was like a small town. He just destroyed everything. I mean, everyone, everything. The entire island, he just obliterated.
Okay.
He looks over.
Vengeance feels good, but just don't become everything that... every reason
What?
that I left our family in the first place.
Well, if I can't do what needs to be done, we won't have a family soon. You're going to introduce me to your friends?
No, don't, actually. But I have made some companions, some people, I suppose, that go
Shut
where
up.
the beat of it.
Sorry.
I'm going to walk up.
This is Goal. He's from Tria, and he witnessed firsthand, well, he witnessed from a distance the destruction of his city and those innocent killed.
Sorry for your loss. I don't know what to say.
Thank you for your help. Quite impressive.
This is the beginning. It is my fault that thousands of your people have died, and I will claim thousands of theirs in recompense. I will bring them all to heel.
Sounds good to me.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Adamar.
Well, nice to meet you, Adamar.
Those two over there, I'm going to point up Father T and Ileana.
I'm have put my hood up at this point, and I like take a strip of cloth or something and wrap it around the head of my staff.
Whose father are you, Father T?
I consider many of this world to be my children, but none by birth.
I see. Then you feel my pain, watching my people die.
Such death is wasteful.
And you?
I'm trying to stay hidden.
Oh, you're still hiding? Okay.
I'm gonna armor crawl backwards after they say my name, like, no, 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 no.
You feel the ship, like, turn.
Is there a wheel at the helm?
No.
Cool.
It's just flying, like autopiloting.
Sheer will.
You're assuming Adamar is controlling it in some way.
Oh my god, dude. Where will you go next? What's your next objective?
I'm not sure. I'm going to make them all pay. I'm going to burn them all. Yes, yes, I should just start burning them, one by one. They
Should
couldn't stop
not.
me.
You shouldn't do that.
Oh, brother, always the soft. And why not? They didn't stop. They killed innocents. Thousands.
Exact-
I could fix this by killing a few, maybe 100, maybe less.
Killing a few, I'm okay with that, and I'll help you do it. But
Great.
killing thousands, burning them all,
Let's destroy Tacitus.
you sound ridiculous.
Ridiculous. The
Yeah,
only thing
ridiculous.
ridiculous here is how you ended up on my ship. After all these
It's
years,
ridiculous.
never seeking me out.
I do regret that.
No, you don't.
Among the
You think I've gone mad, and you're right. All my sanity gone from that witch. She's in my head, you know, speaking. I hear her voice. She tells me what to do, and now it leads to this, just failure after failure. God. My crown
She's
slipping.
no friend of mine. In fact, I was pursuing her myself. And I still have the sword you gave me. I'm gonna like draw the sword that I have, the long sword that he gave me. It's been a minute since I've used it, but if you're after this witch, what's she done to you?
Is it not clear what's happened to me? I just want my crown, what is rightfully mine. The fates twist beneath my fingers. I feel them. I twist the world around me. But I can't because she gave me objectives, things to do, people to meet, people to convince, leading away from a war, not toward it. I helped with the delivery of goods to the ground. I built the very things that destroyed Tria. Do you understand? This was my doing. Twisted by that witch. I'll burn her. I'll burn her to bits. No, I'll burn her to ash. Yes.
I think you should stay calm, and we should think about what we should do next.
You see, like, flames that were in his hands, like, go out. Yes, stay calm.
All right. Now, okay. All right. And I'm gonna stand up and disperse the stealth. I'm gonna say, all right. Okay, I've got quite. You piqued my curiosity. I'll reveal myself.
What are you, an assassin?
No. Well,
Good chance.
depends on the time. I fill a lot of roles. Anyways, so, Callie, not a fan.
Yes.
Are you aware that she says that allowing the cities to fall will start the ultimate destructive war that will eventually end all of society?
He's in your head too. Oh, well, blast it, she's gotten you, Jimmy. Can I kill this one, brother?
No?
Oh, you may not kill this one. I mean, I'm sure you
Can't
could,
you
but
see he's twisted by the witch?
Well,
She's
all
in his
right.
head,
Listen.
Energy.
I was just asking if you had heard of that instance, which it's plain to see you have. My follow-up question was going to be
All
whether
I
or not.
hear is her jabber.
So you obviously don't believe this to be true, or do you just not care if it is true?
She lied to me. She told me this would avoid a war. But look! Tria burns still.
Have you considered that your actions in the long run may have prevented a war? It's too early to tell what the future holds. Perhaps war has been averted.
Oh, I will avoid this war. if I have to burn every last civilian in Tria, in Tacitus, everywhere in between.
That's precisely what I'm saying. This attack has inspired you to end the war before it's even started. Perhaps she's not twisting your mind quite so much as you think, but merely twisting her words.
And it's about this time that we'll get over to Aiken, as Hidbane is finally back. Hidbane's over. Hey! Bit of a mess this morning, but I hear your shot was damn good.
Yeah, we have other matters. Can you scrounge up all the intel you've gathered over the past few months and get it set up at the table? We gotta reconsider what we're doing. And yeah. And he's just like, Aiken goes back to like organizing what he's gathered.
Yeah, places down some of the resources he's gathered and stuff. Well, speak, Aiken. What are you gonna say?
Well, boys, it's been a while. First off, good to see everyone here together.
Wish it was on better circumstances.
Naturally. So with the tree of burning, where does the court of the Leviathan stand on this? How involved do we want to get?
They all sort of like look from one to another, seemingly a little bit
No.
disgruntled.
I'm not suggesting taking up arms and going straight to Tacitus and getting killed on the spot, which is obviously not ideal. I'm not suggesting that by any means, by any bit, and I'm not suggesting we go pick up refugees out of the water. However, do we want to take up small arms operations involving helping Tria get back to where it was? Do we want to keep our noses out of those? What have you guys picked up in your operations?
Wathel's the first to speak. Things aren't good. No matter where you look. Things have smelled like war for a long time, especially where I've been wandering around in Zarda some, and well, I like a book or two. Been wandering through the cities. Things are high energy, a lot higher than I'm used to. I'm not sure what it means, but I guess as surprised as I am with everything that transpired, it isn't surprising.
No, of course not. Has anybody gotten wind of what Tacitus's allies are doing? Anything up in the northeast or northwest? Are they making plans? Are they moving down on the southern part, or I guess the central parts of Tacitus's enemies? Has anybody got anything on that?
Listen, if I would have known anything about an attack like this, I would have said so before it happened. I think this has been a smaller operation. This can't be coming from the Majocracy. I'm guessing 1-2 rogue archmages decided it was their job to see the world right.
So then that makes this a little more easier to approach. If Tacitus is torn on going to war, then certainly we can look more into that, see if what the root of that is. But it's good to know that it's just hopefully a couple archmages rather than the city unanimously seeking to burn Tria.
You know just about as well as anybody, if Tacitus wanted Tree on the ground, it wouldn't be flying today.
That is true.
But cutting them from the Union, it's
intense.
It's troubling. I mean, now there's nothing going to stop them from finishing the job. But if it is just one or two guys, maybe we could do some reconnaissance, find some more
Yeah.
information.
Do small arms work around the surface of that city. See if anything can come up with, their immediate allies. I doubt it will, but our best bet is probably surface level work again. Seeing if there's any, ropes that lead to these archmages. I think that's our best bet in this case.
McFerrin kind of like speaks up for the first time. Archmages. We're hunting archmages now. Listen to yourself, Aiken. You're gonna get us all killed. This isn't our fight. Maybe it was once, but it isn't any longer. It's too late. It's too far gone.
What do you propose, McFerrin?
We need to get safe at home. I mean, who knows? Ensarta could be next. We need to make sure our political allies here are okay. We need to make sure that Tacitus isn't looking to expand this campaign. Tree is a lost cause.
Now that you are right. No, that is good insight. Keeping it close to Ensarta, making sure our city isn't next. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we could start big name plays, talk to your disgusting Xur contacts, see if, there's any, political, I guess, like, I don't know. See if there's anything cooking up within the Xurs, if they're trying to keep peace or if they're brokering war. Yeah, no, I do think we should keep it within Zarda. I mean, naturally, there's nothing we can do for Tria, practically continental law not help them. So I think it is smart to not do small arm operations around Tria anymore. So we can cross that off the list. How about this? Nobody else has anything. Hey, I looked at Higby and I dodged.
Perseverance speaks up. Listen, I know we're talking about politics and things have been shaking in Zara, right? This Tuskegee, she's not well liked.
Of course not.
There are rumors that she's from Tria. That can only go one way for us. If she's not a true Xur, I'm not sure what would happen, but it couldn't have been good. I know we're not usually in this work, but maybe we need to figure out a new leader for Nzada the hard way.
Well, the Xur certainly made that easy. Kill him. Yeah. Okay. So this should be a good course of action. I doubt Higbane has anything. Him and I have been in that shithole rider camp for the past couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah, just about.
All right. Let's keep it local. Work with what we've got on Enzarda. Hopefully come up with something that, push comes to shove, we can put a new leader up. Because certainly no one likes the one now. I would like to start dipping our toes in with, like I said, surface level operations near Tacitus, not in Tacitus. Please do not go to Tacitus.
Don't have to ask me twice. Listen, if I get a shot, I could probably kill her. We're probably the best group of assassins in the entire cities. Should I do it?
No, that's too high profile right now. Plus, there'd be no one to fill her shoes. We need to find someone worthy of leading in Zarda. Like the person that came before the Xurs. Whoa, what was her name? I can't even. It's the one they decapitated, right?
It's just Xurs all the way down.
Well, if we can find a better Xur, that'd be nice. But
hold on, maybe put that friend of yours on the throne.
Real smart. Yeah, real smart. Have a massive hand in politics. No, yeah, hold off on killing her. hopefully we can come up with something a little easier than just sitting back. But
I'll
yeah.
see if I can get somebody working with her somewhere close to her just in case.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys got great information this time around. So keep it local. Talk to your governors. I don't know time. Yeah, good
Feel
stuff.
free to vote in all your local elections.
Right. Okay then. Anything else
All
come
right.
up besides Inzarda and Tacitus? Anything of the other cities? Anybody else got anything that is worth mention? Not focus.
Certainly nothing this scale.
Figured as much. Well, good. Realigned our focus. Hopefully we can get some more work done.
That's right.
Good.
All right. At which point, the other ones of you, now with a slightly calmed down Adamar, you're muted.
So you're part of all this, but feel as though you've been manipulated by this witch and other archmages.
Yes. Well, it's more than that. You see, these witches, they. Kelly has the audacity to say that today was a success. The way it was meant to be. Burn her. I would burn her.
How do you know she's wrong?
Because I watched as people jumped from the city burning.
It's really hard to tell who's in the right. Clearly, we don't want to see people burning who are innocent, and those people in Tria didn't deserve to be hurt. But if the
Who's in
city's
the
still
right? Let me think. Not the people who've just killed thousands. Definitely not me for orchestrating such a disgrace. Certainly not the Majocracy, thinking that they can piddle away and allow these attacks to stand.
So nobody is right.
No. But we will be. Once I burn them, I'll burn them all. I'll burn the whole of Tacitus. We must find
If you
Mrs.
burn
Barton.
Tacitus, won't the other cities fall to the ground?
That is true.
Besides, you are strong, but do you really think you are strong enough to go alone against the heart of the Majocracy?
He sits and contemplates it for a moment. Now you all sound like Callie, trying to twist my words. No, not the whole of them. 2, 3. Yes, I could burn them easily. Split them
With
up.
2 or 3, you'll send a message, but you won't inspire change. You'll be an unimportant footnote in 1,000 years with 2 or 3.
1,000 years of what? The
War.
same. War. And if I sit here, do nothing,
Then at
then
least
what?
you're not contributing. And at least you're not contributing any further to the start of this war.
I'm not sure
If
if
you
you
rush
have
in
noticed
there,
yet, but the war has begun.
not as openly as it could be. If you rush in there, spells blazing, you'll be labeled as a heretic, a someone who a martyr for the opposition.
Maybe
It'll
that's what I
cause them to
need to
come
be.
down. That'll cause them to come down even harder on the rest of the cities.
Then what do you recommend, old man?
I recommend you let fate sort itself out.
Blasted fates and the witches. If I
And I
trusted
recommend
fates,
you take.
I would.
I recommend you take all of us to Joracast.
Sure. Perhaps they'd even take me back after this display. Fools, the lot of them. Never met a man in Jorcast who wasn't a fool. Is that where you're from, old man?
I'm from many places. You said you've been outed from Joracast?
No, I'm an ironclad architect there, but I'm sure more than one saw what I just did.
They've been watching us.
Is that a question or a statement?
A question.
I can only assume. I fired 4 meteors into that city. Into that town. It's not something that goes unnoticed. Particularly right after it blows up one of the floating cities a few hours ago.
I pull my cloak down further to conceal even more of my face. I think you should take us back there then. But I think we should pick up our friend in Jarta first.
Perhaps I'll burn the other architects. Take the city. Have a base. Somewhere safe. With good inventions.
Perhaps you should.
Well, finally, one of my ideas that you like. Then, let's burn some architects. And you feel the shift just like jolt towards Nzarta.
Can't just go around burning cities.
No, can't I, brother?
Speaking of, who exactly were the people that you just lit up? Like what? Like why were they sending a bomb at Tria? Do you know?
No, I don't know. All
Fuck.
I know is that they've been twisted by the same witch who twisted me.
Yeah, that would have been nice to
This,
know.
this Callie, she works for an entity that she calls the Sky Witch. And this witch wants to watch my entire world burn. First, she forces me out of my place of privilege in my homeland. And then I'm sent to another city that I know nothing about. I have to climb the ranks inch by inch, rather than seizing my crown. Now this atrocity. She made me complicit in this. This can't be the way. Not the way I'm going to do it, no. No, I'm gonna burn her, and then I'm gonna burn them all. Yes.
Do you even know where she is?
I feel her in my head. I don't know.
Well, as far as Callie goes, I saw her like just the other day.
Where? I will burn her.
Who? Maybe if I had a map, I could point it out to you. It's hard to. Yeah,
Give me an idea.
take some breaths there. How about you, in assurance that we all get to Jorcast safely and without burns, I'll point you in the right direction.
You said you have a friend in Zarta.
Gotta pick him up first.
Where is he in Zarta?
He's near, and then I give a location nearby that I might know of.
Fine, you're coming with me. And he just grabs you and just tears a hole in reality and steps through it. You're like in the center of Inzarta.
Me?
Yep.
Where is
are
everyone else? Are they okay?
They're still on the ship. They're fine. Take me to your friend. I'm done playing games.
He doesn't like to be approached by strangers. I would recommend you wait here, and I will bring him to you.
Test me, father. Go quickly.
I do. Go very quickly.
Okay.
Is he talking about Callie Caleb's friend?
No, Cal Yulalan. Really big and fortunate thing that happened in my life. No, it's a different Callie. Yeah.
She was the one wearing like the mask on half her face, right?
Yeah.
Down at
She
the,
led us
at
to the
Rider camp.
Skywitch the first day we were at the
Yeah.
Rider camp all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's an archmage
Session
then.
1.
Probably.
I'm while we're all on the ship together, alone now, because I stepped away, I'm gonna go, oh, great, gold, Tiago. What the fuck is going on? What's going on?
That's
I
my.
will interject really quickly, Steven. It looks like she's not an archmage, but is working with one.
Okay.
She's not, though.
The archmage being Adamar. Oh, don't know.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Mystery.
yeah. She's
I
also
mean,
working with
basically,
Adamar,
it
but
sounds like
Adamar's
she's
not an
been
archmage.
manipulating him a little bit, or at least he feels as though she's been manipulating him.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear at this point that what happened is throughout his whole life, Callie's been like telling him what to do. Like, you should leave Inzarda. You need to like go somewhere else. You need to do all these things.
Yeah.
And in the culmination of that, has been guaranteeing him this is like the correct path for him. This is how he becomes emperor, apparently. And in the process of doing that, he's now extremely frustrated because it led to all these people dying. And he's like,
Right.
she fucked me. She screwed me over because he's been, facilitating this by like sending things to the ground, like doing things that are like implicitly helping these people attack Tria, which seems to be like the opposite of what was promised to him, though it, potentially is not.
Right. He's just like blind with rage. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my little brother, and I haven't seen him for probably 30 years. And of all the people, I expected him to be the least like the person you just saw obliterate a small village.
Well,
Not
I
sure what else
thought
to say about that.
when he was calling you brother, I thought that was like an elf thing. Thought maybe you guys said that.
As did I. He's your little brother?
That's my little brother, yes.
Yikes, I see the resemblance, if I'm being honest. I get it, you know.
He's not how I remember him at all. Of all the people before in my family, he was the only one that seemed to be able to withstand corruption or the desire for power or hatred. It seems all those things have now consumed him.
Yeah, he wants all of those things. Because
Yes,
of
he does.
the lady in his head. I don't know why we're going to Jorcast. I approve of that location because it just seems like the hub for all things we need to progress. However, would have been nice to know who shot that projectile at Tria. You know, who they were.
I agree. That was unexpected, and I felt we were not in a very good position to try to stop him.
Yeah, I also thought like maybe he'd, launch some stuff down and like we could, like it wouldn't be that bad. We could still try to figure it out. But like that, he obliterated that whole place in seconds. So he's a bit frightening
clearly
as well.
Yeah, it
his
didn't
study.
look particularly like straining for him either. Like he just like haphazardly obliterated probably hundreds of people.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, let's try to keep him from doing that again, particularly to us.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to treat him or how to. I have no idea where to go from here.
Again, the politics of the city aren't my strong suit, so I'll just sort of tag along with Father as of now and see what he determines.
I agree. If we can undo the destruction of Tria, maybe it can calm down Adamar and we can straighten out what his goals actually are. I'm all for rooting out corruption and, greed and abuse of power, but burning entire cities is obviously not something I'm interested in doing.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we met you as opposed to him when you joined the group, because that would have been.
Indeed.
All right. At which point, Aiken, you see Father T like move pretty quickly for an old man and like barge into your door.
I assume our
Aiken,
meeting has been like wrapped
Yeah.
up at this point.
how went the meeting?
Oh, it went good. We've re-strategized, trying to figure out what's best for Enzarda. How did the operation go? That was very fast. You guys all back?
We are all back, and we have actually grown in size as a group. Um, we met a figure on the ship, a powerful magic user by the name of Adamar. Uh, you seem to know Tiago somehow, and
Oh,
he's going to
interesting.
take us to Joracast, and I would like you to come with us.
Would I know Adamar with my history of the Zuris?
Um. Yeah. Maybe. Do you remember if I told you that you know about it?
Uh, I have the Enzarda document, but other than that, I don't know if I would have ever directly met Adamar. He was very familiar, but
Uh, you definitely probably haven't met him because he hasn't been in Zarda in a long time. Uh, I would say that you probably don't know him.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Um, yeah, sure. Where's everybody at? Are they at tavern right
They're
now?
on an airship right now. As I said, he's a very powerful magic user.
I see.
Do you remember the deal we had made about watching each other's backs?
Yes, of course.
I would appreciate it if we could continue doing that, especially while we're in his company and while we're traveling to Joracast. It will be a very dangerous place for me, and I would appreciate a strong ally.
Of course. I mean, we made a promise to each other. Yeah, I suppose we can meet up with him. Let me grab my belongings and Proteus.
He is not very patient, so I would suggest haste.
Oh, I see. Um, sure, yeah. I start grabbing my stuff and trying to move with some level of speed. I'm not rushing. So, who is this guy as I'm like grabbing my wood pick and stuff?
Do you remember when we were in the boneyard where you found Proteus and we looked through a man's eyes?
Yeah, of course.
This is that man. He's a
Oh,
powerful politician from Joracast.
oh, that makes
Also a
sense.
skilled mage. It doesn't really make sense.
No,
It,
not at
it
all.
boggles the mind that our fates would cross this way, but this is what has happened.
Let's see. So we're going to Joracast.
We are going into the belly of the beast. Yes.
hopefully we can get some more information on this whole topic matter.
I think our time in Jorcast will be very enlightening.
I hope so too. And I like head for the door and I say, you know, see you guys, like heading out.
Bye.
Thank you
Good
for
luck.
sharing your home with me, and I walk out.
Oh,
Right.
this ain't my house. And then we leave.
You walk out and you see Adamar standing there.
I did not lead him here. I suggested he wait towards the center of town. He seems to have followed me.
I'm sure that's fine if he's an ally, right? He's our ally.
We are currently allied.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah, got my bows.
He just
Yeah.
tears a hole in like, the reality in front of you and like steps through, like gesturing you to follow him.
Oh my god. Strange. Walk through.
You step onto an airship. The gate like cinches closed behind the two of you.
Hey.
What's going on?
We found the guys that shot the thing.
Oh, that's
I
good.
melted them. I burnt them all.
Oh, you burned them.
Oh yes, burnt them all.
Yes,
Oh.
it seems Tiago's brother here burnt them all. He did, without even lifting a finger.
Bro. Does he? He's
What is this
very
name they
elfish.
call you, brother? Tiago?
Is that not his name?
It is. That is my name, Tiago.
Is that your name?
Do you?
Is this true,
Yeah.
Adamar?
That's my first name.
Oh, it's your last name you changed.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Never mind.
Yeah, 'cause-
Sorry. Ignore I said that.
Okay.
Or are you also in the bullseye brigade? And then it all starts to click. Oh, you're in the bullseye brigade.
Me. In the Bullseye Brigade. Do I look like a sharpshooter to you?
Certainly look like a Zuri.
Zur. Zuri.
I say, as he says Zur, I say,
Oh. Sorry, I heard that on the street today. I don't know if that's offensive.
Yes, well, it would be if I cared. But
Sweet.
my family deserves it. Deserves worse. Burn them. Maybe I'll burn them all.
Is that like an offensive version of your last name?
Yes, it is. In
Yeah.
fact.
They made
Yeah,
a
they've killed
slur
people
out
that
of your own name? That's fucked.
Oh,
Most
you wouldn't be
people
surprised.
in the city call themselves Surrey, even though their bloodlines are tainted as I am.
Learning a lot today. We're all learning a lot. Well, I think we have places to be, don't we?
The Jorcast, yes.
In Jorcast. Yeah, where do you pilot this vessel?
Of course.
How so?
He like sort of cocks his head to the side. Did you see me drop those meteors before? This
And
is a lot
tear
easier than that.
reality in half. Yeah, actually, now that you say that, it's just very impressive. That's all.
Great. I must rest. Enjoy the journey. He like walks into the cabin quarters. You see like as he opens the door, there's like a small like little sitting area and a bed in there, and he just like slams the door shut.
All right. Maybe now we can all catch up.
I motion for everyone to like get closer.
Oh. Yeah, what's up?
I'm just dumbfounded. I'll move in, get closer.
Before we speak, just know that I think it's probably very likely that we are being watched right now. Your brother there said that the mages of Joracast likely had eyes on him. That's all.
The mages of Jorcast. Is that a bad thing? You have enemies in Jorcast, right?
Joracast is my enemy. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where we're headed?
That is our destination.
Alright, listen. I'll go, and I'll search around the ship to see if I can find any surveillance devices.
You won't find devices. Well, actually, it's Joracast. You might.
Exactly. And I'm quite the looker. I mean that as in, like, I'm good at finding things. But, I mean,
Oh,
it works either way. Okay,
But they are also strong magic users.
Alright, I'll go look around the ship. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna walk towards the room that Adamar went into. I'm gonna knock on the door.
Oh shit!
Okay, you knock on the door. It flies open. You see he is standing next to the bed. Seems like he has not laid down yet.
Sweet. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna look behind me at the rest of the guys. And as I'm closing the door, I'm gonna shut the door.
Oh my god.
What was your name again?
Ileana, I don't think we've officially introduced ourselves. I was the one hidden in the shadows, pointing a weapon at you for a large portion of your speech. I thought it was very impressive, your feats of magic and whatnot. Adamar, right?
And now you want to lie with me, is that it?
I'm sorry? No, I'm not a liar, if that's what you are referring to. I'm not.
See. So what are you doing in here?
Look, I don't know Tiago very well. In fact, I oftentimes distrust him. Uh, and then I just recently learned that you two are related, which is a shock.
Thought he was dead.
Oh,
Didn't really care though.
oh, good. Um, I've had the first day I met these guys, Tiago excluded, um, was when Callie approached us and brought us to the. Well, I don't want to, trigger your anger, but you know who. Um, and I will be honest, I had doubts
Speak
since then.
freely. You don't need to tighten your tongue.
All right, I'll loosen the tongue. The Skyn Witch. We
Yes?
saw her. She told us about the wars and the bringing of down of the cities, and all of that nonsense. And I had doubts ever since then. But being as inexperienced as I was at the time, it's hard not to take any authority telling you otherwise as fact. I hadn't ever considered that perhaps she was even lying until you brought it up.
Best not to trust witches. I should have known better. Burn her.
Burn her. That's such a smart, like, thing you got going on there. Burning. You like burning things? I mean, obviously, we all saw your work. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought I was quite the fan of burning things myself, but it seems even you trump my love for burning.
Okay?
You see, Adamar, there's just something a bit strange that I noticed between us. We both like burning things. We both like magic, etc. And we distrust the Skynwitch and Callie. And most importantly, we both have someone in our head that we would rather not have. You say that you can hear her twisting away at your thoughts, right?
Yes.
I have a being in my own mind, and it's much less aggressive, but the presence is felt constantly. It's a pain that never subsides, never goes away.
Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Trying to think your own thoughts and they're mixed in with theirs.
But the burning, that's all you, right?
I don't know anymore. Me, her. Once I burn her, I'll know. Then I'll be free. Maybe I'll need to burn the witch too.
I I actually think you're on the right track. You see the man, the voice, the other side of me that's in my own mind. I've I've thought about killing it or burning it many a time, and that's my ultimate goal. And the thing is, in Jorcast, there's a machine that I've imagined, and I believe it is the key in separating your mind from someone else's.
We will find it. We'll take it.
I don't know if it's constructed yet, but the schematics are made, and I've been collecting pieces, and I was wondering if, since you are burning and taking things as you please, maybe you could be on the lookout for any of my desired items.
Sure, I can get them for you. What do you need?
Adamar, I appreciate the sentiment, and I hope you will, and I will unfold the note that I found on my body when I awoke on the surface, and I will show him the ripped up remains of the God Machine schematics.
He looks it over for a long moment. Are you sure that's what this does?
I think it doesn't kill the voice inside you. It separates your brain into a superior form, but perhaps creating new life from it. And then, once the husk remains, you can properly put it down. At least that's what I've dreamt. Of course, I'll never know once it's assembled, and of course, if you're willing to use it, I'll try it out first.
You designed this, but you don't even know what it does? How is it possible?
Well, reality is oftentimes confusing. Before today, I didn't know it was possible to summon a swarm of fireballs to decimate large areas at once. I'm learning something new every day, is my point.
I'm not sure these points are congruent. I know how to summon fireballs, therefore I can. You know how to make a machine, but yet you don't.
At one point in time, you had to learn to summon your fireballs. You didn't know exactly where they were, the range on them. You didn't know the damage they could do. You didn't know how
I
to cast them.
understand, but I didn't design them and then not know. You're lying to me. Tell me.
Adama, I'm not trying to lie. It's just that even sometimes I get a little confused as to what I know and what I don't. The voice in my head, we're not on the same page at all times. I don't know if
Who
I
designed
designed it. It was designed, and I have a feeling, a gut feeling, and calculations I've run to know, to understand, to predict what I think it will do. However, before it's put all together, I have no idea. That's why I need to put it together so badly.
Well, I'm not sure what all of these things are, but we should be able to assemble it.
Thank you. Adamar, is that what you prefer to be called?
Emperor would be the best.
All right, Emperor.
Anything else?
No, thank you. I appreciate your discussion with me. I hope we can talk further. It's hard to find someone who is going through basically exactly how I feel, but obviously dealing with it in a lot better way than I am.
Does the one in your head, does he speak to you?
No, I don't feel his judgment immediately. It's more of a residual shame that burns away like an ember at the back of my mind, and not in the good way of burning. In fact, I don't actually know what goes on when he's present. I only know what goes on after I read the notes he leaves, and of course, I know he's deceptive as well. Never can tell what is the truth or not by what he's written on the page.
How will I know when he is in your mind? Perhaps I could get him out.
How would you do such a thing?
Answer my question first. Will you be different? Act differently? Does
I
he
will
control you?
be, for all intents and purposes, an entirely different person. I'll look different, talk different, think different. This curse that's been applied to me, this dysmorphia, it's it manipulates my body as well.
Fascinating.
It is.
Should I keep you caged when you're like this? Prevent you from doing something that you would not want to do?
Ooh, Adamar, that's quite the offer.
It would be nothing for me. I can tell
Really?
by now that you are weak.
Oh. Thank you. Um, I, I wish to be strong like you someday. I hope I can learn just through your presence.
The question, Eliana.
Right. Sorry, I forget the question sometimes. I get a little lost.
You want me to cage it, the thing
No,
inside of you?
just because since we do share a physical form, change though it may, I would prefer not to be held against my will. Although, if you do see him and he's doing dastardly things, then go ahead and put a stop to it. But feel free, not to cage him. Just keep a watchful eye if you wish. I'm sure he won't do anything too dangerous. He's not as intelligent as I.
Very well. Is that it?
I believe so.
Goodbye, Eliana. I'll speak to you after I sleep.
Dream of me.
Please exit my room.
Of course. Yep. Sorry, I was gonna say something cool, and I thought about it for a bit too long. I'll leave now, and I'll leave the room, awkwardly fumbling with the doorknob, like, shit. Sorry.
He
Ah.
just like climbs
One
into
of
bed,
those.
seemingly like unperturbed by any of the awkwardness of the situation.
And I'm gonna strut back out to the group.
All right. And then some time goes by, unless anyone else has anything they want to say on this journey.
All's good, guys. I got it all worked out with the man, with the captain here.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to say, while we're all here, some basic rules for operating in Zarta. Trust no
Joracas.
one. Fuck. Joracas. I know my cities. The basic rules for survival are to trust no one, act as though someone is always watching you, because they will be. And yeah, that's really it.
Short
That when you
list of
see that,
rules.
after some time on your journey, but not too long, the airship is pretty quick. You see hovering off in the distance the city of Jorikos. Some of you may have some familiarity with it. Some of you have a lot of familiarity with it. Uh, but as you approach it, it's interesting because it's not like the other floating cities. It operates off a different mechanism. It is just this giant floating disc of like magical energy, essentially, uh, that was like created after all the other cities. So all the other cities were like just these sort of natural looking aberrations that no one really understands how they work. But this is much better understood. So you can see these huge rings, like a perfectly circular ring. And as you approach on the outskirts, you see these ships just whipping around the outskirts of Jorikost. Um, that I guess at least some of you might be somewhat familiar with, in that they are part of a game that is played here.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, outside of that, you see like the outskirts, which is the outer like 3 to 5 miles of the disc. It's pretty much entirely uninhabited, and it's walled off entirely due to an issue with air currents tearing people off the side of the disc. And then inside of that, you get the old factory district, with this like old shut down district, again like pretty much abandoned. You see like a bunch of abandoned warehouses, factories, large pieces of equipment, and that are all sort of engulfed by this grand garden that's been planted and runs throughout this old district that's been abandoned.
That's
Uh,
rule number 3. Stay in the center of the city. Just the
that's true.
center.
Speaking of which, you eventually get to the center of the city, which is called the New District. And after the old factory district was abandoned, there was this new district that was founded, and you can see that it has this like really like advanced building spaces and like safety practices. It seems like much more like higher echelon, and like almost all of the residents of Jorikost work in that area. Other than that, you do see a few large buildings. One's labeled the Jerillian Museum of History and the Arts. You also see a few different taverns and things here and there. Uh, but mostly you see people all gathered around the experts watching the ring racing, which is definitely the big, big event around the town. And I think that is where we'll pick up next time as you guys enter Jorikost.
So we're all gonna do one of those ring races, right, guys? We're all on the same page here. We're all gonna be a team.
Of
It
course.
was legit.
I'm a big fan of ring racing. Commissioner Gordy, he's pissed about it. It's great.
Yeah. Fuck the commissioner.
Shit.